resilience against climate change, reimagining school meals to climate-related strategies, and exploring innovative financing methods to access needed investments for Kenya. On behalf of the Government of Kenya, I wish to express our gratitude for this consistent partnership with WFP and assure the country office and the whole WFP of our full support. Indeed, we are grateful that Kenya is now a member of the WFP Executive Board. This is not just a privilege, but a responsibility we take seriously. Kenya is uniquely positioned to amplify the collective voice of nations that benefit from the invaluable support of the WFP. We intend to leverage this role to support WFP's leadership in advocacy at global forums, ensuring that food security remains a top priority on the international agenda. Moreover, given our experience and understanding of the challenges many countries face, we will be active and collaboratively and constructively contribute to international policy formulation and strategic direction that will lead to upholding and advancing of WFP's mission and objectives. Let me say something about the freedom in international food chain relations. In the face of climate change, we call upon the world community to rethink the definition of global food security for regions like the Horn of Africa, which is perennially in the throes of recurrent droughts, pest infestations, and inconsistent rainfall patterns. These plagues not only place substantial pressure on food production, affecting the livelihoods of millions dependent on farming, but fundamentally distorts planned economic growth paths of affected countries. Indeed, for countries like Kenya, achieving food security is not merely about increasing food production. And while we know our multifaceted approach to investment in modern farming technologies, robust supply chains, resilient agricultural practices, and targeted policy interventions will bring relief, we also know that without a stable international economic order, our strategy will falter. Furthermore, though finance plays a pivotal role in mobilizing funds for investment in agriculture to ensure farmers have access to the necessary tools and seeds and knowledge to increase their yield, changing world food chains continue to inhibit food security. And for us, it is not about large-scale food production, as may be found elsewhere, but more about empowering the small-scale farmers who produce the bulk of our food. Therefore, an enhanced supply chain from storage facilities to efficient transport systems that ensure food reaches markets while still fresh and nutritious and reducing post-harvest losses is the antidote for local food insecurity. In addition to these policy interventions are also crucial. However, for policies that favor sustainable agricultural practices to succeed, we call for a reduction in the international cost of exchange and greater participation of friendlier private sector participants in the food systems. Still on the international scene, in the face of the persistent global challenges, the solution lies not just in resource allocation, but in resource integration. The path forward must be co-forged seamlessly, blending local knowledge with international expertise. It is not about transplanting solutions from one part of the world to another, but co-designing initiatives tailored to specific needs and strengths of a partner. Our local farmers with generations of knowledge, bring to the table an understanding that's deeply rooted in the land they till. When this is complemented by the technological and research-backed insights from international partners, we harness the power of synergy. What would be the facilitating role of WFP? WFP sits at a unique position globally to set the pace in these matters. You understand the global vulnerabilities possibly better than any other organization. Looking at finance for food as a theme, the WFP sits at a unique intersection of finance and food systems. You understand the grave repercussions of underinvestment in our food architecture. The cost is, unfortunately, measured in lives lost. From this vantage point, the WFP should become a vocal advocate, stressing upon the global financial systems the imperatives of investing in what supports our very existence. It's more than just funds. It's about directing those funds to strengthen the roots of our local food systems. The unique strength that WFP as an organization has, which I personally emphasize, is on the supply chain. WFP's expansive experience and intricate networks position it perfectly to guide nations in building resilient and efficient supply chains. This isn't just about moving produce from point A to B. It's about establishment of the state-of-the-art storage facilities and improving transportation networks that ensure produce remains fresh, losses are minimized, and the markets are readily accessible. On markets, WFP should aid in unblocking constraints in the international food chain system on movement of food from food surplus to food deficient countries and at an affordable price. This will be a WFP pivotal role of ensuring that every plate across the globe has some food and at the right time. Let me touch briefly on climate change again. Climate change is an overarching shadow against attaining food security. The worsening situation of climate change is worsening the vulnerabilities of our food systems like never before. We therefore emphasize the pressing need for climate finance for investment in climate-resilient food systems. Acceptance that though the specter of climate change is universal, but its repercussions are felt most severely in regions like ours, and we must be supported by compensation. On this, Kenya has been a proactive agent of change, leading from the front in rallying the African voice. But we are not begging. Our fate is tied to commitments that we hope will be honored. Our continent, rich in diversity and spirit, has long held a shared perspective on the climate crisis. The recently concluded Africa Climate Summit, which Her Excellency has just referred to, here in Nairobi, was a testament of this unity. The Nairobi Declaration is not just a symbol of our collective resolve and vision for a sustainable future, but an affirmation that we deserve better for our pains in sheltering humanity. We need the Nairobi Declaration amplified for its echoes to resonate and influence the next course of universal action on climate change. This is why we turn to our trusted partners, like the WFP. You have worked with us, understood the intricacies of our challenges, and have been integral to our journey. It is time to raise our voices together to ensure that the Nairobi Declaration is not just heard, but acted upon. Again, our collective future hinges on our ability to convert commitments into actions. And Kenya stands ready, with partners by our side to lead this charge. Meanwhile, as we acknowledge the opportunities and challenges that lie ahead, I remain deeply inspired by our progress and optimistic about our shared future. Through innovation, collaboration, and strategic alignments, we are not just envisioning, but actively forging a path towards a world free from hunger. As finance professionals in WFP, ensure every dollar, every cent, and resource is channeled effectively and efficiently to make the greatest impact a world without hunger. Together, let us strive to reduce the effects of hunger and achieve a world where no child goes to bed hungry, where every farmer reaps the fruits of their labor, and where sustainable food systems are not just an ideal, but a lived reality. I urge you to remember the faces behind the numbers. Every statistic you work with represents a life, a dream, a family, a living entity. Let that be your guiding light as you navigate the complex world of humanitarian finance. The people of Kenya are indeed the world, are counting on your expertise, your dedication, and your compassion. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure to declare the WFP Global Financing Meeting opened and the WFP Finance Strategy for 2027, running through to 2027, officially launched. Asanteni sana, and God bless you all.
I think that would be too much honor, sir. Excellency, that would indeed be too much honor for me. We are already honored by your presence here today. And if I can just, on behalf of the team, express our gratitude for your presence, for your personal engagement, and the government of Kenya's support to the World Food Programme. Your intervention was very powerful. You've said a lot that I would not pretend to pick certain parts, because all of it was important. But at the end you said we should remember the faces behind the numbers. And I'm a finance person, trained as a finance person, but it's very good for us to be here, to remember that collectively as finance professionals across the globe. Many of you work directly with our beneficiaries. I do not have that honor every day, but I'm pleased to be here in your nation's capital. Even before, of course, your very successful climate summit, we had decided to come here for our global finance meeting. It was a quite relatively obvious and easy choice for us because, of course, the importance to the UN system of Nairobi, the UN system agencies present here today, here in the city, the Regional Bureau for East Africa, the country program led by Lauren, and the support offices for operations like Sudan and Somalia. But also importantly, as both of you have touched upon, financial technology. It's an important hub. Financial innovation, financial inclusion. So these are all topics that we will cover this week in our agenda, and your powerful intervention has focused this for the rest of the week. Congratulations on the successful climate finance, climate summit, and the recognition of the work of WFP in general, but also for pointing out the challenges and opportunities that we have and that we must face together as stakeholders in this international system, including the international financial institutions that hopefully we'll interact with as well during the course of this week. Let me thank you with a small symbolic gift that I think will come this way shortly. As you know, WFP was tremendously honored at the height of COVID. Thank you, sir. At the height of COVID to be awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 2020. We're not able to do our work in food security for the people that we serve, the subset of the 345 million people that you mentioned. We reached about 158 million people last year. We can only do that with our partners. And the partnership with the government of Kenya has been tremendous for us, as you mentioned, for 40 years. So we would like to hand over to you a small gift of appreciation. I don't know how paperless your office is, but we have a paperweight in the symbol of the Nobel Peace Prize. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for joining us today, for opening our forum officially, for recognizing the work that we do as, for the finance strategy 2027. There's a lot of us for us to achieve, but you've thrown us the opportunities and the challenges, and we'll get cracking and work hard to make sure we continue to support your government, your communities in this country and all the countries across the globe. Thank you so much.
Thank you. If we can please request for an official photo with all three together, that would be fantastic. And if we can show our appreciation once more. We know you have a very busy schedule, and we appreciate you being here today with us. So camera crew, thank you very much. I think everyone can take their photo as well with their own phone. Selfie? Is that allowed? Excellent. I think we got the picture. Thank you very much for being here today, Your Excellency, and all the best. Thank you very much. Thank you.